I call myself an enthusiast because, like, I really care about what I smoke. I actually go out there and find different strands to talk about. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to, like, again, somebody else that just takes what's given to them.
Okay, so let's get into that then. Like, what strains would you say are, like, your top 3 and why? Is that... Yeah, that's freestyle.
Go ahead.
I'm playing.
I was ready. Like, I was like, her name is Dana, and she is
Nah, that's wild. But hello, guys. Welcome back, co-workers, to the We Outside Afterwork podcast. I am Dana.
I'm Aaron.
And today we are joined by our good friend of the show, Mar.
Yo, what's good? What's good, everybody?
What's up?
How y'all feeling?
I feel good. How you feeling?
Living the dream.
I'm feeling, man. Having a good day.
Yes.
Good,
and also known as the Cannabis Enthusiast.
That's right.
Yeah, we're going to get into all of that because, like, I'm very interested to know why you have that name and where that name came from and all of those good things.
The crazy thing is I paid attention in DARE when I was a kid. So, drug-free is the way to be. You know what I mean?
Listen, I have a DARE shirt. I just wanted to put that out there. Like,
I think I still got mine, too.
Absolutely.
Like, 5th grade.
Get some help.
But we are going to start with the icebreaker cards, as we always do when we have guests. So this is from the Unpack That game, and the first card says, what are y'all still trying to prove to yourself?
Well, we're going to let the guests begin, Martin. Let us know what you're still trying to prove to yourself.
Yeah.
I think the simplest way I could put it is that I'm still trying to prove to myself that I could do it. You get what I'm saying? I didn't always have the confidence that I have now, but through the years, I started to be more like, I guess, talk my, you know what I'm saying? Like, kind of poke my chest out more. Like, I'm very more humble. I'm very more chill. But, like, those talks I have with myself, like, I feel like I did a lot of, like, centering myself over the years. And it's just, like, I feel like now it's time for me to, like, really put my foot out there. Like, I am who I say I am. You know what I'm saying? I am the person that I am. And, like, I really am doing what I say I'm going to do.
Facts. That's what's up, Mar. So, I appreciate the way you coming at that because I'm similar. But for me, it's more like proving that I'm worth it, right? Like all the jobs that I've done, all the lives that I've impacted, like I'm worth being in people's lives. I'm worth being at the position I am in life. And sometimes you got to prove that to yourself because a lot of times it's doubt that creeps in. It's like, damn, am I built for this? Am I really the person that should be leading this charge? And then once you realize that people rely on you and they look at you as somebody that's really going to build this team to the next level, it really makes you feel good. It definitely humbles you. When I used to work at Target, all my fellow associates and stuff, when I left, they threw me like a party. They made me like feel appreciated.
Right.
And then I left and the store kind of went to shit. Like, so it showed me like, all right, damn, I was something valuable.
You was keeping the store afloat.
And it kind of hurt me because it's like, damn, if I was even more worth it, they would have been able to continue to propel to the level that I started them at. So that taught me something. Like that taught me like my worth ain't just where I start, it's how I finish it. So I'm definitely paying attention to my worth a little bit more, proving that to myself. And we want to hear what Dana got to say.
I would say for me, I am still trying to prove to myself that I am kind of similar to what you said. It's the confidence.
Okay.
Like just showing myself that like, hey, you are supposed to be in these rooms that you're in at work. I think the last episode I was talking about how they probably are trying to like put me in a managerial position and like manage people. And that was something that I kind of avoided just because, like, I know how much responsibility that comes with and how much time that takes from your personal life. And that wasn't something that I wanted, but, like, people tend to gravitate towards me and, like, express a lot of their concerns and issues to me. So I think now is just accepting that you are that person. So, like, be that person for other people that are watching you and do need your support.
Right. Okay. For our second question, how do you express your anger? Just like that.
All right. Depending on how well you know me, some people say my anger is my biggest like criticism, if you will. Like, when I get mad, I get mad. And
would you start throwing shit?
Not even so much throwing shit. I feel like if we could, like, visualize it, I go from Bruce Banner to the Hulk, and it's very rapid. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I'm working on it. I'm trying to be more aware of it. But, like I said, when I get mad, I kind of, it's like a blind rage. And it's funny because my little brother is going through this right now, and it's like, me seeing him is making me more aware of myself. You feel
How
what
much
I'm saying?
younger is your brother from you?
He's born in 99, so what, he 23? You know what I'm saying? I'm 31, so we got, what, 9 years? So,
Okay.
you know what
So
I'm
you're
saying?
really like his like role model in a sense.
Yeah, like, I know he mimicked me, you know what I'm saying? It's not to say he copied me, but, you know, it's a sibling thing, you feel what I'm saying? But it's just like, I'm not saying his anger comes from seeing how I am, but I just feel like we share similar emotions when it's just like, you mad and you don't know how to solve it, and the only thing you can do is react.
Now, do you mind if I ask you if that's genetic, like passed down from mom, dad, grandparents?
have you
You've seen that?
In some ways, yeah. My mother's a Gemini, so if you know anything about a Gemini, it's
Nah,
like...
that's Dana's field. I don't.
My twin cousins are Geminis, and they're
Okay.
crazy.
Yeah, Geminis are very like Kanye West. Like, I love you, but I hate you. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I'm not saying my mother hates us, obviously, but I've seen my mother through rage. I've seen my mother go through a lot of things that
Yeah, they
maybe
flip the script very quickly.
very quickly, and I feel like I have that as well. I could be literally having a conversation, and we could be disagreeing, and it could be something that's said or reaction, and it goes from me talking calm to me like, I said what the, you know what I'm saying? And I start really like expressing myself, and I call it passion, but it's anger.
Yeah.
It's like,
How do you like, I just want to know, how do you like decompress from that? Like, is it just the time that goes by, or like, what do you do to help?
sometimes I smoke, but that's not really my dependent. It's more so of, I learned that the reason people smoke is because it's the inhale exhale type of thing. So when I started doing yoga, they said to reset your heart rate, take 5 strong deep breaths. And I mean the type of deep breaths where it's like you expand your lungs, expand your stomach, and then as you breathe out,
Like you hold it in.
yeah, like
and
you
then-
let the air literally fill your whole body. You know what I'm saying? And then as you release, your chest decompress, your stomach sinks in. They say if you do that 5 times in the heat of whatever emotion you're going through, it almost like resets you. It's not that you're not gonna feel it no more, but the pressure and the buildup will just start to like.
I think that's something you have to
wind
like
down.
consciously do.
It is a
because,
struggle.
right? Like when you're in the moment of that, like, are you really gonna think, okay, let me breathe through this?
But I think you do, like, especially if that's something that you're working on.
Yeah.
It sounds like that's
Like
something
growth.
that Mar definitely grew on, right?
Yeah, for
like,
sure.
damn, I realize that this helps me. So in this moment, a lot of people, like, in a moment where I gotta step back, like, I'm ready to like smack the shit out you. Let me step back, right? Sometimes, like, if you don't mind me answering the question, I don't handle my anger that way because I used to. Like, I used to be a little angry, just mad at the world type of kid, where anything would set me off, anything would trigger me. So nowadays, I really just don't get angry. And I think that's the way that I handle my anger is, you know what? At the end of the day, it's not deep enough for me to get mad about it. So I'm just going to ignore it. I do think that that's eventually going to be a problem one day because I don't have like a combustible element. So somebody is going to get combustible on, and I feel bad for whoever that person is because I don't know how it's going to come out.
The channel of it, yeah.
But at the same time, I just try to let shit go in and go out. Sorry. I just try to let shit go in and go out, or it's going to be like that phone. You feel me?
Right.
But at the same time, like, it happens like that for so many people where I don't have time to be angry. Like, shit moves on. Like, I got to go.
Yeah, I would say, to answer the question, I'm one of those people where I do walk away because I don't like the feeling I get when I'm upset. Just because my mental peace I've said multiple times on this podcast, like, that's super important to me. So when you feel like the heat in your body, like, building up, and then
tell you.
it's a lot. And I don't like that feeling. So when I know I'm getting to that point, like, I'm that person that, and most times I don't get into arguments or whatever the case recently, but there's certain people in my life who can trigger that. And I'll just be like, you know what, I'll see you later, or I'll stop texting them, or I'll hang up the phone. Like, there's just different ways that I handle it so that I don't have to get to that level and start like disrespecting them.
Right.
Do you have like an angry face? Like, when you mad, you just like, nah, seriously, because
I don't think so.
Because I think I've developed that where it's like you can tell when I'm not good because my face shows it, And I didn't notice it because, mind you, I try not to get upset.
Right.
Like, I try to just, be stoic every day. It's going to be a smile on my face. But then, like, over the last couple of months, this just hasn't. Like, I just been walking around, like, growling at people. Yeah, and I didn't really notice it until people start bringing it up and shit. And it's like, damn, am I angry right now? Like, do I need to do something about this? So, I mean, it's possible.
You might have to take deep breaths, like Mar said.
Gotta let it.
That helps. That literally will help, like,
chest, you know what I'm saying?
Focus.
If you know any yogis or anything that want to help me out with my anger, please call 908.
Oh my God! Don't put your number out there. Okay, so the last icebreaker question, and I actually really like this one. So it says, would you rather be loved, respected, or admired?
Since you love it so much, go first.
I am gonna go first.
But
So I'm going to say I would much rather be respected than loved. Like, to me, respect is above everything. Because we know people who have been in loving relationships, or people claim they love them but still treat them like shit.
Right.
And to me, that's because they don't respect you. And once the respect is gone, to me, it's like, well, you can't really say, like, you really, truly love me if you're not respecting me, you're calling me out my name. Like, there's so many things that people do to other people, and they kind of hide it as saying, well, I love you and I care about you. And it's like, well, if that's the case, then why aren't you showing it?
Right.
And I think it's because they don't respect them as a person. What about you?
For me, I would say, truth be told, to be loved and admired goes hand in hand, in my opinion. But when it comes to respect, now, one thing you said that I wanted to point out was that you said when people claim they love somebody, it's like, how can you love this person but you disrespect them? I'm under the notion that if you love me, you automatically respect me. And it's not so much that it's you have to respect me to love me. It's just like, if you really love me in your heart of hearts, you wouldn't disrespect me. Now, I understand, as we just talked about anger, that anger sometimes you have a weak moment, or like you say a lot of things when you're angry that you may not necessarily feel. Like, some people say the truth comes out when you're angry. It's like, while that is true, sometimes some people just lose it. Like I said, I was raised by a Gemini. I didn't never think my mother loved me less when she was mad. My mother would say some shit. You know what I'm saying? The reason I have tough skin now is because of how I was raised. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, it's not that I thought my mother loved me less. I just think that she was going through her own things as a human being, and it's like, she would just say how she feels. It's a reaction, but it's not like a lack of respect. You feel me?
Yeah,
so
I
for
can
me,
relate to that with my mom, because like, she's a Cancer and she's a July Cancer, and both my parents are Cancers actually. But
I see a August.
No, he's July as well. You clearly don't know the moons and the stars. But no, like, my mom, like, she was one of those people as well. When she got upset or angry, like, she said a lot of things. And it's like, well, is it because, like, I didn't feel like she didn't love me less.
Right.
But she would just have this, like, raging anger that you could just tell that she was just in a different space. And it was more so just her, like, yelling either at my dad or my brother. And not really me, because, like, I just wasn't the problem child. But with them, it was like, she would do all that, and then, like, I don't know how your mom kind of just, like, says sorry. Like, my mom don't say sorry, but she'll, like, do something nice. Like, she'll cook dinner. Like,
I'm about to say, it's come eat, or you want to go for a ride, or you know
right.
What I'm saying?
It's like something that like she thinks is nice or whatever, which is cooking dinner. So that was like her way of apologizing. So yeah, like.
But now, you know what's funny though? When my mother, it's funny you say that. My mother acts like nothing happened.
Yeah.
Like, literally,
Mine
you
too.
walk in the house and it's like, hey.
Yeah.
You just cursed me out.
Yeah, you was just being crazy.
You feel me? Like, you just had an issue, and that was, hey, but that's what I mean by the Gemini effect. It's like, you know, two-faced, basically. That's literally what it is. Like,
two-faced, yeah.
For me, in regards to this question, I think we got to look at what the totality actually is, right? To be loved is the ultimate.
Right.
To be admired, you don't necessarily have to love somebody to admire them. You don't necessarily have to love somebody to respect them. But to be loved is the ultimate, right? So I'm taking love every day. I don't care if the rest of this world don't respect me. If the people that I need in this world to love me, then I'm good.
But they also respect you, though, right?
Because love is the ultimate. So
I feel like respect is above love.
I don't know. Like, respect don't mean you care about me. I respect Barack Obama. But if Barack Obama
But it says
decided to walk
which
down
one
the
would
street,
you
I don't
rather?
care about
That
it.
makes sense.
It says what would you rather have?
I would
though?
rather have love.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
like-
would rather have respect.
Nah, not that I wouldn't want respect. It's just it don't help me at the end of the day. I need love. Like I can't live without it. Love keeps me going. Love keeps me motivated. Respect don't motivate me. You can respect me all you want, but at the end of the day, that's just respect. Honestly,
I think I would still just take respect, just because like I know you wouldn't cross certain boundaries because like you do see me in a higher light than like.
But
if not,
would it matter if they don't care about you?
well, it depends on the situation. Like I'm basing it off like family and friends around me,
Okay.
not just an everyday person in the street. Because
Yeah, I'm talking about
even
family.
people in the street, like they don't know you. So it's like, why would they, like, for example, like opening a door, like holding a door, like people just kind of do that because, it's the nice thing to do. Right. But I think it's also like a way of showing respect as well. Like, oh, I see you coming through. Like,
I
like,
ain't just gonna let the door close. on
yeah,
you.
exactly. So I feel like that is a form of respect in a way.
Absolutely. But now if you put it in this perspective that we are all brothers and sisters in this world, right? That's how the premise.
Are we?
We should be, right? you have that mentality because we know that there's so much love lost in this world.
Yeah,
if
we
I
are
love
known.
you and you love me, you opening that door and me opening that door for you wouldn't even be that big of a deal because we love each other. We value each other enough that door is already going to be open. But we focus on respect because we know that motherfuckers don't like each other. Motherfuckers don't. I can't stand people out in the street. You
But
know?
think about it though. Like to your point, I feel like you can respect your enemy, but you don't got no love for him. You get what I'm saying? Like as far as like, let's say you get into a situation with somebody and you respect what name they have for themselves. You may know that if you got to deal with this person, there's a certain way it has to be done, but it's not a love thing. It's more like out of respect of the situation, I know I have to maneuver this way or that way because it could create a bigger situation. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like the reason I would say love as well, because I feel like if you truly love me, 9 times out of 10 you respect me. And then in most cases you might admire me as well because I feel like being loved brings a certain like to me love is the gift and the curse of life. It's like while it's dangerous because it's vulnerable, love is amazing. Like
I think
amazing.
from my perspective, I've just seen so many different kind of situations pan out negatively from people saying that they are in loving relationships and they love people who are close to me, but they've treated them like shit.
Right.
So it's like, well, if they respected you more, then they probably wouldn't have treated you in that way. So that's why I would choose respect, and it seems like I would choose love.
Yeah. Now we're gonna set up a poll on the socials. See what y'all say: love, respect, or being admired. But to do a quick little segue, I was listening to 50 Cent on the Big Boy radio show, and he was talking about, is depression a luxury? Now he was basically saying that if you're poor from the inner cities, you don't really have the time, the money, the opportunity to be depressed because you got to get up and you got to go to work and you got to feed them kids and you got to pay them bills. And if you're more affluent and you got money where it's like you can be depressed and you can be sad and you can quit that job and whatnot, you have something to fall back on. Do y'all agree with that? How do you feel about that?
I guess I'll take it first. So I would agree. I wouldn't say like depression is a luxury, but it is a luxury to be so upset to where you can choose not to go to work because you either have like a huge cushion of money where like you can still pay your bills if you miss a couple of days of work, even though you're not getting paid. And that's that. But from people who are from the inner cities, like you just mentioned, we don't got a choice. It's like, well, we don't come from money. We don't have a backup plan. Like, we don't have people who are just going to step in and, like, pay our bills because we're so depressed. And it's like, well, who's going to pay this rent? Who's going to pay this car note? Like, you still got to go to work depressed. Just don't talk to nobody, but you still there making your money. So I can agree.
How you feel about that?
I feel like it depends on when you were born, really, because in today's society, 50 Cent may sound insensitive to people who go through depression. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, Gen Z, they say, is like very soft.
I think the world is just different now, but that's
Yeah,
a different
it is.
story. You
It
feel me?
is.
But I feel like coming from how I grew up, I wouldn't necessarily say it's a luxury, but I would say that it's more of a. And nobody got time for this shit. You get what I'm saying? Like, you could be having the worst day ever. Like, say that to a single mother with multiple kids. She might really be depressed. You know what I'm saying? Like, the man not there. She got to work this, work that. She got to, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, do she really have time to tell those kids I was depressed today? So, unfortunately, no one has dinner. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like you can't really decipher if it's a luxury or not, but you can look at it circumstantially. Like, look, some people can't afford to sit on their ass. You know what I'm saying? Some people can't.
Literally.
Like, literally, they can't afford it. Like,
Yeah.
living check to check is a scary thing, but some people don't even know what that feels like. Some people are used to,
and the
like...
majority of people are living check to check, where it's like, if you don't go to work, and if you miss this check, then you won't be able to pay rent.
Right.
You won't be able to feed your kids. So, yeah, it's not a choice.
So I'm looking up the global mental health data on NBCI, and it says 75% of all suicides come from lower and middle income. So that means that depression does hit those people that have that lower income status, at least to the maximum capacity, where it's like now they're killing themselves, they're committing suicide and stuff like that. So I believe it was a little insensitive for him to say that, as if, you know, people can't be depressed. I completely understand where y'all coming from on that, because it's like, you know, we got shit to do.
Yeah.
Right.
But at the same time, it's like these kids, and not even the kids, but some of these adults, they can't handle it. And I don't know what it is that we can do for them, because, you know, depression comes in many states and many forms and many different ways for everybody. So, you know,
I think it would be great to just give the lower or poor middle class just more resources. So just giving them, especially the kids that are dealing with depression, like giving them a safe space to go to and someone to talk to. Like when I was in high school, we had like a recreational center, like a rec that we would go to. So if there was some type of counselor in there that was a certified therapist or counselor who can just be available to us to talk to during that time, or even now, like, I think that'd be super beneficial.
And, you know, if we have a recreational enthusiast in the building, then
oh God,
then maybe
I love the segue.
We can assist and, you know, help people out.
Let's get into that. So we are gonna just switch gears right now and talk about Mar and his background being the cannabis enthusiast. First and foremost, where did that name come from? Because I like it. Like, it got a ring to it.
So what's funny is the summer of 2021, right? This was like right in the midst of 2021 is when recreational marijuana became like legal for distribution in New Jersey, right?
Right.
So I was sitting home one day. I was talking to my cousin. We were sitting there. We were smoking, you know, doing what we do. And I was like, yo, I got to figure out a way to like bring awareness to the cannabis industry now that it's legal. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like no shade to anybody, but it'd be a lot of garbage around, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not going to say...
I don't smoke, so I don't know.
I'm not going to say that everybody has garbage, but I've learned that a lot of people just take whatever's given to them. You get what I'm saying? Nobody's really caring about what it is. It's like you just trust your local, whoever he is.
I've heard like the dispensaries, like their stuff that they give out is a lot of BS. So like,
Jersey's is kind of behind. I would put it like that. Like, obviously, if you go to California, Colorado, you're going to get a wide variety because the farms are literally in their backyard. But over here, I don't know how they're getting it done as far as dispensaries go, but the range is kind of whack. And it's like kind of stuff that people from other areas already experience. You know what I'm saying? So it's like...
What do you think makes it whack, though? Like, is it the strains or, like, from your experience? Like, what...
I think it's all about your experience. If you are a heavy consumer, you probably had a different variety of different things. If you're into, like, I call myself an enthusiast because, like, I really care about what I smoke. I actually go out there and find different strands to talk about. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
As opposed to, like, again, somebody else that just takes what's given to them.
Okay, so let's get into that then. Like, what strains would you say are, like, your top 3 and why?
See, I'm a indica lover. So if you know about indica is more of a body high. So it's supposed to relax you. It's like a chill high. It's not too much in the head. It's more of like end of the day vibes. You get what I'm saying?
Like to relax and decompress kind of
Pretty
thing?
much. Like some of them are heavier where it actually put you to sleep, and some will just sink you on the couch and you watch movies all day. Like it really depends on what mood you in. I like smoking on rainy days because I like the whole combo with that. But like for me, I'm a big fan of White Widow. That's a big indica that I like.
Take notes, guys. I never heard of that before.
I don't like white women. So.
What?
He said white women, right?
Nah,
White
White Widow.
Widow.
Oh, my bad.
Jesus.
So yeah, you got the White Widow. I'm a fan of that.
Okay.
It's something I've tried recently called Glue Tech. I like that a lot. I've actually did a review on my page. So.
And these are all indicas?
These are all indicas.
Okay.
And then I don't know if I have a third one. Like I like the peanut butter varieties, but I don't know. I'm still searching for that third true one because I have this other one that I like. It's like a hybrid though, but.
All right. So what about the shit that we heard of, like the OG Kush, the Sour Diesel?
I mean,
Purple
yeah,
Haze?
sour is. If you from especially this part of Jersey, like the northern part of Jersey, you know, sour was the only thing you could find at one point in time. So sour's gonna always be sour. I think because my experience is more now, sour is not as strong as I thought it was back in the day. But I also feel like the
you
sour
have a higher tolerance.
that, and I feel like the sour from back in the day was just different. Like even though I was a newer smoker, I think anybody would tell you like sour back in the day, especially like I want to say around 08 to like maybe 2012. Nobody was beating that. Nobody. Like, yeah, you had your Kush, you had your Purple Haze, but if you had sour, that was it.
That was it.
Yeah.
So it's essentially the weed elevates, right?
Yeah.
So when you first start smoking, you smoking Ari, you know, just to get you high and shit, right? And then all of a sudden you go to the next level, and then when does that level stop though? When do you be like, all right, that shit was too potent, or do you not?
I think now because there's so many different hybrids and farmers are just making so many different kind. Like I think in 2020 Runts was the most sold strain. You get what I'm saying? And that was
Runts,
Runts.
Okay.
Now it's different varieties. You got Obama Runts, Pink Runts. It goes on, but Runts itself was so popular, and I feel like now people when they hear Runts, they're like, eh.
So let's talk about sativa, because I feel like I always hear that word sativa. Like what kind of cannabis is that exactly?
Sativa is the complete opposite. So sativa is more of a head high. You get what I'm saying? Sativa is more of like floating in the clouds, low eyes. You know what I'm saying? Might be more giggly. You might be a little like you might be more in a good mood with the sativa because it's like it's all in your head. So whatever you got going on at that time, like a lot of sativas are stress relievers as well because it's like it takes you out of whatever you're thinking about and kind of puts you in a better headspace. Some people get creative. Some people like it just varies. But sativas are more what people like who don't smoke as often because they don't want to feel stuck.
So those would be better for edibles.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. If you want to have a good time, like there's certain strains like a Purple Punch, for example, that is a very like social environment type of strain. If you was at like a 420 function or if you were just at a function where it was bring your own weed, bring your own liquor, and you had edibles and everything like that, it'll really get the party going.
Man, I had some edibles one time. I must have had indica because that shit put me down. Like I'm over here trying to get up. I couldn't get out the bed. Like I'm fighting for my. I swear to God. Like so my boy come downstairs. He like, yo, come on, let's go. I couldn't talk. Like the words just wouldn't come out my mouth. So he came back.
Are you sure that was cannabis?
It was an edible. It was Rice Krispies.
It was a Rice Krispie. Okay.
Word. And then
You must have took a lot though.
My dumb ass ain't know no better because we playing a drinking game and I'm doing an edible at the same time and we losing. So I'm like,
Oh yeah. So by the time it crept up on you, that was it.
So he came downstairs 3 times. I couldn't talk. So the last time I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna go. So I go to the bottom of the stairs because we was in Airbnb and shit. So I go to the bottom of the stairs and I just let out the biggest scream I could do and it's just. Nothing came out. I was like, nigga, I'm going back to fucking sleep. I wake up, these niggas getting chased by bears and shit. Like, I don't know what the fuck I was on.
That was a night.
Crazy.
I had to get rid of that shit. I don't fuck with the edibles, man.
Yeah, so
edibles is dangerous.
Amar, I do want to just talk about THC and CBD because speaking of edibles and gummies, nowadays when you go to the dispensaries, like they have a lot of those options for like the gummies. And what are your thoughts on the combination of the two? Like, do you like taking the gummies or?
Edibles are cool. I'm not like a give me an edible type of person, but like if somebody that I'm cool with that I trust has an edible, for sure I'll take a piece. Whether it's a gummy bear or a peach ring, whatever it is, like I don't mind edibles at all because I do like how they feel. CBD is popular more because some people don't like feeling high. You know what I'm saying? Some people actually don't like the feeling of THC.
I heard it's like
is
it makes you like really relaxed and mellow. Like
CBD
it's like
is
a muscle relaxer.
it's like almost like an indica, but it's not so much just an indica. It's just like it's more of a body high. Period. It's nothing that's going on in your head. Some people don't like that feeling of like paranoia, your heart racing, or like
So they'll
that
just
comes
do
with
a
it.
CBD.
That's what CBD is. THC is how you feel the actual high, where like your eyes get red, they may get low. You know what I'm saying? It's more of like I said, if you smoke too much of it, you get a little bit of paranoia. You know, you might even like. There's been times where I've smoked and I'm like, yeah, this weed too much because my heart is racing, and I'm literally like,
Is it
let me
just
relax.
weed that like makes your heart race and stuff? Because I didn't even know that was a side effect.
Sometimes like for example, when I do the cannabis check, I like to smoke whatever strand it is when I wake up.
Can I interrupt you real quick? What's a cannabis check?
Oh, all right.
Yeah, break that down.
If you follow me on the gram, f.n_ab, I do the cannabis check where I educate my viewers on different strands that I've come across. So I give you the highs, the lows.
The highs.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I always start off like, cannabis check. You feel me? That's like my little intro, and it's like, it's stuck. So now I've been doing that for like a year now, and it's like, again, it's all for education purpose. I'm literally just trying to tell people when you out and you're dealing with whoever you're dealing with, these are some of the things you want to look for. This is what street weed look like. This is what corporate weed look like. This is what farm weed look like.
Just so they know like what they're taking. Like they're not just
basically it's a variety. You know
and
what I'm
then
saying?
one important thing that you said was you don't want to take an edible from somebody you don't trust.
Exactly.
So like that's something that, especially with the fentanyl and all that random
all
shit
the shit
going
that's
on.
out now. Yeah,
So-
for sure.
So
you
yeah,
could die trying to get high off an edible.
And I tell people all the time, like, I get, free weed is free weed, but it's like, it's not worth it. You know what I'm saying? Somebody just giving away weed. Like, granted, I've shared what I have because I want people to try something like, yo, you got to try this one. If you smoke, you should try this. But I don't recommend just, like I said, dealing with anybody because you don't know. Certain people are into different things. They might put certain stuff in their blunt that they think you with that you may not be with,
Yeah,
you know? So,
had angel dust up in them.
you know what I'm saying? You seen Smokey in the Chicken Coop, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I see. I got the hookup. If that one is gone.
Exactly.
They didn't know what that one gone is.
No.
Hit that shit once, your ass is gone. Like
Is that what it is?
that's that one gone. Yo, I got the hookup. That's one of my favorite movies ever. But
Oh, good.
we talking about Instagram, and I was under the impression that your Instagram has been going through some changes.
Yeah, we had a conversation prior to the episode. And
Yeah.
speaking of your cannabis checks that you put up, a lot of the stuff that you put up as well is the actual plant, like the cannabis.
Yes, I
marijuana
actually
plant.
show you what I have in my disposal. So first of all, Instagram, this is for educational purposes only, okay? I'm not selling anything on the internet. I'm not a
sponsoring.
dispensary. I'm literally just trying to share my information with the viewers, all right?
And we appreciate it. But yeah, so you mentioned how they kind of just took away some of the privileges of your Instagram page, like going live, posting certain things or whatever. Is it because they're trying to censor you? Like, what are your thoughts on that? Like, why do you think a lot of your stuff is being blocked?
To me, Instagram is a weird place. So like, basically my pages are being flagged and certain reels are being taken down and like I can't go live and things like that. And their reason is basically because they're saying I'm promoting the use and sale of marijuana. You get what I'm saying? And it's like, although in New Jersey it's legal, it's either my page is being flagged by viewers or they're not understanding that I'm stressing the fact that I'm not selling anything. I'm more so telling people what it is.
Right.
You know what
Have
I'm
you ever
saying?
tried to like appeal that or like reach out to them and say exactly,
They don't be giving a fuck.
what it is?
Right. It's like, I mean, I feel like what's the point? You get what I'm saying? Because again, we spoke about off camera, but like the stuff that you can see on Instagram as far as like the porn bots and the bullshit that comes on, you feel me? It's like, why are we mad because I'm talking about a plant that naturally grows?
Mm-hmm.
But society has always been mad about plants that naturally grow.
Yeah.
So
yeah, they're not into like any type of medicinal things that
unless they was doing it.
Right,
yeah, unless
right.
it's like pharmaceuticals and like big pharma, like they getting a cut out of it. But if it's just someone who's like a local person who knows all this information of how to like, cure things, not that it's natural, but it's.
But I don't mean to make this about white supremacy, but
Let's talk about it.
But the white man has always found a way to marginalize the black man and then make themselves the hero at the end of the day, right? White people can literally make slavery look like it was compensation and put it in the textbooks. They can just be like, this is slavery. Oh, I'm sorry, indentured servitude, where, yes, we have this black man in our home. We're feeding him. We're lodging him. We're making sure that he's clothed. And we're giving him work to do because it's nothing else that he can do out there but be a savage like the Native Americans.
Yeah, that's literally what it is, like what they said. And honestly, they don't even still to this day want to acknowledge that slavery existed.
But they'll do the same thing with alcohol as they did with prohibition. They'll do the same thing with marijuana as they just gonna blatantly ignore the war on drugs.
Shrooms now is becoming popular, but back in the the 70s and 80s,
Psychedelics
it was
a
super
no-go,
popular. But
sure.
they made it seem like it was such a bad thing to take, and like all these side effects would happen. But to be honest, it's like, was it really that bad for you, or was it because they couldn't get in on the pie?
But I think they could have got in on the pie. I think they were more interested in getting a black man to follow into his vices, right? Because weed has always been a antidepressant,
and then the crack epidemic came in the 80s,
and
after that.
now that they little Jimmys is over there falling over from fucking opioids,
they popping pills crazy now.
Now they got a heart. It was crackheads in and out of the 80s and the 90s where motherfuckers is over there slunched over and nobody had a heart for them.
Yeah,
like it probably would have been hosing them down like that dude in California. I don't know if y'all seen that shit, but you just, I don't need to say crack ass crackers.
Wait, what happened in California?
It was this in San Francisco, I believe. It was a homeless lady on the street. The art gallery owner must have told her to leave one time. She didn't leave. According to her, she was cleaning the rug. He came out with a hose and just was spraying her. He hosed her down.
Just cause?
Yep.
That's fucked up.
I mean, but it is what it is, right? You can't do nothing about these people because, unfortunately, love don't live everywhere. Yeah. So this is why I will always pick love over respect, because if he would have just loved that woman... Nah, I'm messing with you.
No.
Okay, I see what you did there.
Oh, my gosh. Okay, so, Mar, anything else you want to just give some education on cannabis? We're not calling it marijuana. We're calling it cannabis on this episode because that's what it is.
Like I said, I feel like the more you explore the cannabis world, the more you'll like see what you like and what you don't like. I feel like everything is subjective. Everybody has a different experience. I could tell you on my channel how I love this particular strand because it did X, Y, and Z for me. And somebody else would be like, yo, I hate this strand because I went to sleep. Or, it's like your tolerance and everything else that you do matters, you feel me? So just educate yourself, because I think the worst thing, no matter if it's cannabis or what, the worst thing is when you spend your hard-earned money on something and you hate it. You know what I'm saying? Whether that's clothing, food, especially food. Ain't nothing worse than ordering some food or getting some food.
Yes.
And cannabis and food go hand in hand.
You need the 1-2 combo to get your day going. You feel what I'm saying? So
oh my gosh, yeah. So I just had another question though.
Sure.
So outside of New Jersey, what would you say is your favorite place to go to and try their cannabis?
Like should be in my mind.
That's what you were thinking?
I swear to
we
God.
synced up. I'm telling you.
Truth be told, because of what I now have access to, like I met a lot of farmers.
Like farmers in the Northeast?
Like they may not be directly in the Northeast, but just like I've been places where all these farmers get together and they trade information, they trade seeds, they trade growing things. Like I think it's becoming more popular. People are learning to grow over here. Granted, Jersey has a lot of weird laws right now about growing. Even though it's recreational, they still want you to have certain licenses and things to do so. But like as that starts to work its way in, you're going to see a lot more people growing. So a lot of people are tapping in with Colorado, California, etc., and they're meeting these different plugs and learning how to do grow houses and things like that because it just helps. So for me, a lot of stuff I get may be from elsewhere, but I take my cannabis with me. When I was in Houston, I took it. When I was in Dallas, I took it.
So you bring your own?
Always.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's just how I operate.
Have you been to Cali and all that stuff?
I haven't been to Cali yet.
Okay.
The furthest I've been west is Texas.
So I went to Amsterdam. So
that's on my bucket list.
See, I'm not a smoker.
Okay.
So when I went out there, it was like, damn, we smoking again. Damn, we smoking again. Damn, we smoking again. It's like,
is that what y'all did the entire trip?
The entire trip. But because I'm not a smoker, I didn't necessarily enjoy it. But from my friends' perspectives, it was like, oh, like my cousin, he was in the fucking, it was like a coffee house.
Okay.
And they had this green tea with mint in it. And it just paired perfectly with the weed that they were smoking. It's like they got different little opportunities for you
We're
to
calling
enjoy.
It cannabis.
I'm sorry, cannabis, marijuana.
Thank you.
But you got to get out there, like especially as a weed connoisseur. I'm sorry, a cannabis enthusiast.
You
know what I'm saying?
That was on purpose.
I did that on purpose. As a cannabis enthusiast, get into places like Amsterdam or Colorado or California, like all these places. When I went to Las Vegas, as soon as we got off the plane, it's like,
is it legal?
yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
Oh, like recreational?
Yeah,
And if I'm not mistaken, it's like open. Like you can like walk around with liquor, you can walk around smoking. So
okay.
That's how it is in New York though, right? Like you can walk around smoking.
Oh yeah, Jersey too. Like
in Jersey?
literally, funny story. I'm sitting in my car and a cop literally rides by, and like where I was parked at, the light was maybe like at the corner, but since it was traffic, he literally stopped next to me. And we're still kind of used to like, oh shit,
Yep.
you know what I'm saying? Let me put this out, like I'm bugging. And he caught me as I was exhaling, so I'm just blowing all this smoke out the window.
Yeah.
And he just looked at me and was like,
yeah, because he can't say shit at this point.
so it's like, if it's like that, fuck it. You feel me? Like,
wait,
let's just,
were you driving or you?
I was just parked
up.
up. You know what I'm saying? I was actually just sitting there parked up. I was waiting on my food. Actually, I was getting something to eat.
Okay.
And I was just smoking. Like I had a little clip in the ashtray. I was smoking, and I thought he was gonna say something to be a smart ass, but he just laughed at me. You feel me? Because I guess he could see the look on my face. Like I was kind of shook.
Yeah.
But
because at this point, it's like.
Yeah.
But
you
don't
can do
it feel so much better that you take that aspect of stress away?
Yes,
where it's like
absolutely.
Like I've been in situations. Again, I don't smoke, so it's never really a focus for me. But like people around me, where now this is the worry, where maybe I might be high or I might have something on me, and Jersey cops, they just gonna be on your ass for no fucking reason. So now it's like all this heightened stress when I'm just trying to have a stress relief.
Right.
Like
I'm only doing this because y'all be stressing me out. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
But, it is what it is, though. I enjoy it.
Okay. I think I don't have anything else.
No, I was gonna ask him because he's a cannabis enthusiast. Do you enjoy alcohol? Is it at that same level, or is it two different types of?
If you were telling me to choose one, I'm smoking before I'm drinking. You get what I'm saying? I actually like smoking and drinking because I don't get as drunk. But like,
I've heard people say that.
Yeah.
Like smoking kind of just helps level them out.
It's almost like putting a lid on it. It's like, even though like usually when you're around a bunch of people, it's like, yo, let's do shots. It's shot o'clock. So it's like, all right, cool. We may take 3 shots to start the night. If I go smoke before I continue the drinking, it's a way different reaction than I'm already kind of lit. I'm kind of, you know what I'm saying?
But you getting lit though that night.
But wait, what if you drink with an indica versus drinking with a sativa?
Sativa, yeah.
Yeah, is it a difference?
I'm not
Because
gonna
one
lie.
turns you up.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't see the difference. You know what I'm saying? But that may be because, like I said, I'm a frequent smoker. It's like, but don't get it twisted. I'm very healthy, but like I enjoy this. This is like my day to day because it's just part of me.
lifestyle.
Like somebody actually said one time, I thought it was funny. They was like, smoking is now a personality trait. Like you actually, if you're dating someone, I think it's important to actually tell them like, yeah, I smoke every day.
We should
Is that
have
a
got
problem?
into that, yeah.
You know what I'm
Because
saying?
that's a deal breaker.
It can
like,
be.
Is it?
people will stop. For me, if you smoke like cigarettes, then that's a deal breaker.
that's a dub.
Yeah,
Fuck
but
that.
like if you smoke cannabis and do it every now and then, like I don't mind it. So like yeah, but I know people who that is like no. If you are a smoker, if you do
It's a
anything,
hard no,
then
for
yeah,
real.
it's a no.
Yeah.
So it is a lifestyle.
It is.
Now, is it based on the stigma or is it based on the reality, right? The stigma is you smoke, you lazy, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, word.
Like, I've met people who roll up in the morning, roll up in the afternoon, roll up at night every single day and are super duper productive. Like, you would never
I
know
think it
that they
depends
were
on the
smokers.
person.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, so because of the stigma attached to it, like, oh, this motherfucker's just gonna smoke and be lazy and not do shit. I think it's more of a person
Yeah,
than the
it depends on
actual
the
weed.
person.
Sorry, cannabis. It's
But
a
you know
work in
too, what
progress.
I've learned, for certain people, they just can't get jiggy with the smell. Like they don't like that you smell like smoke. They
that
don't,
too.
you know. So you got to think about if you dealing with somebody, you kissing on them, like you might come in the house. Like it's certain things that some people just are not with, and I've learned to respect that. But it's like, look,
Yeah, because us women, like, we do not want to smell cannabis all the time or cigarettes all
but the
time.
girls who
Yeah.
smoke, they be the ones smelling like that all the time. But and granted, they had their little mists.
Yeah,
their
yeah.
arbor, what is it, arbor mist?
whatever they do, you know what I'm
They got their
saying?
little mist.
I don't know if they
that
go to
was-
the
that
bathroom,
was
they
the
come back
Victoria's
is different.
Secret spray back in the day, but
Right.
yeah, no, I mean, it just depends on what you want and what you don't want.
Yeah.
So
As long as look, I had a girl that smoked cigarettes before, and
That's a hard no for me.
it was. We didn't get beyond day one.
Because the bogeys is just Jesus.
I didn't know she
another
was
level.
smoking. She was smoking in my bedroom, and then
She just like pulled it out.
yeah, and then she went to give me a kiss and blew the smoke in my mouth.
Wow.
Look, I don't believe in domestic violence. I was just ready to Hawk
You
smash.
see how
the
we
shit
talking
out
about anger? I think that's an
God.
anger moment. You feel me?
That's when
Yeah,
I think that's when I
that's
learned how to
fucking disgusting.
really decompress because I was.
Yeah.
I've never been
That's
so disgusted in my life.
disrespectful.
It is.
Like back
It
to
is.
respect. That's disrespectful.
Oh, you got it back.
Yeah, that's my full circle moment. But okay, Mar, thank you for joining us on this episode.
No problem,
This
man.
is gonna be episode 20, by the way.
Oh, it's lit.
Yeah,
Episode 20.
so episode 20.
We did 20 episodes already.
This one, yeah.
That's a lot of episodes.
It is, and we are finally dropping our Patreon.
I mean, I can tell them the moment right now. You want me to tell? So back in the day when I.
No, because like we said we would save it for the Patreon. We were supposed to drop it on episode 10, but we kind of procrastinated and nothing happened, so we waited till 20. So yeah, that's coming. But I do want to again thank you for educating us on cannabis.
No doubt,
because
no
he is
doubt,
a
man.
cannabis enthusiast. And we're going to put all of your links in our description if they want to check out your page and just see like the different strands and your, what is it that you shout out?
Oh, you. So basically, like when you see my video, the intro is gonna be the same, and it's like cannabis chat. You feel me?
Yeah.
Stamp that. Don't steal my shit neither. I'm
Don't
on you.
steal his shit.
Yeah, we don't do plagiarizers. You
Come
know,
on now.
only women do that with the she sheds and the woman caves and shit.
Woman cave is crazy. I was gonna say something about that, but it's like okay, whatever.
They was mad on TikTok.
Word.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, one of the guys commented, he was like, their place used to be in the kitchen.
Damn.
And I was like,
Spicy.
yeah, he was a
Stop
dickhead
it.
for that. Like,
Get some
nah.
help.
So, yeah, like we are going to put our Patreon information in the description of this episode because it is 20, and that's a huge deal.
That is.
Because a lot of podcasts, like they stop and, you know, come back whenever they feel like it. We've been working on our consistency. So,
Consistency. You know?
Yes.
And, you know, we appreciate all of our coworkers continuing to not only comment, like, subscribe to our
Share.
YouTube, Spotify, Apple. You know, keep it coming. We appreciate y'all so much. We don't take y'all for granted. So we doing this Patreon for y'all. We do
if
this
you can't
podcast
get
for
enough of
y'all.
us, that's why we're doing the Patreon.
Yes, they love me. I mean, y'all love Dana too. She's y'all favorite, so which is why I got to do. I'm not even
Poll
gonna tell
again?
y'all what the Patreon is gonna be.
Oh, the bet? Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're not gonna tell
y'all
them.
gotta subscribe and check out the video that we... Well, no, it's gonna just be audio, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be audio.
Yeah, it's just audio for the Patreon. But
They don't need to see me. They see enough of me.
yeah, we drop every week. This is enough.
Well, unless TikTok banned me again, because they banned me like they banned you. They said I was selling sex, like I'm a prostitute or something.
I feel like they just pick and choose who to do that with, though. You know what I'm saying?
But who I'm selling sex to?
It's the pictures.
It was
You sending news on TikTok?
no, it was it was extracted video from YouTube from it was probably really illegal, by the way.
Wait,
but
what was the picture?
it was a video from like somebody made like a show, a TV show or something. And it just had a sex scene. It wasn't no nipples,
Oh, okay.
no
Were
vaginas.
they naked?
They was naked, but you can't see shit. It's the same shit you see on everything else. It's
I'm not on
softcore.
TikTok, so I don't know like their regulations.
That shit was
and
popping
whatnot,
though. So
but clearly
I'm
it
gonna send
wasn't
y'all the
okay.
links. Close friends only.
Anyway, guys, we're going to wrap up this episode here. Thank you for tuning in with us. And thank you, Mar, for joining this episode. And if you do want to shout out the Gmail account.
Yes,
go ahead,
absolutely. Make sure y'all hit up WOAWpod@gmail.com. If you want to be on the show, if you want to give us some subject matter so we can discuss it and we can love you, respect you, and admire every last one of y'all. And with that being said,
We outside and
We
we
out.
out.
Yeah. This was dope.